Hello, music educator colleagues. My name is Bryson Finney. I'm the Music Technology Content Lead for the CMA Foundation's Unified Voices for Music Education Initiative. We all know that last year left us with a gap in instruction and also a gap in quality time spent with our students. So I want to share with you briefly some quick lesson ideas or starter lesson ideas that maybe you can use with your students as they get acclimated back into instruction with you. All right, so let's paint the picture. It's day one with my students. I may be teaching remote, I may be digitally teaching my students, or I could physically be with them in the classroom, but it's not all of them, okay? So let's think. It's day one. Some students have the materials they need. Some students may have the software they need, but some students may not have the software they need, especially if we're thinking about day one. So what can I do with my students where I can apply it, I can teach, and it would be a quality lesson on day one, and everyone can be involved. So I want to share an idea. So let's think about this. If we just take, it's a music technology class, but if we just take the definition, so music, what is the definition of music? So the simplest definition that I found was organized sound. What does that mean? So we hear sounds all over the place when I'm outside, and we've been quarantined and socially distanced for quite some time, but I know everyone's hearing some sounds somewhere. But are all those sounds organized? And what would happen if we could take all the sounds and organize them? Would we have music? So we've seen that the definition of music is just organized sounds. So taking sounds and putting them intentionally in order, okay? But so now let's take the definition of technology. And so I was looking in the Webster Dictionary, and I found that the definition of technology in its simplest form is the application of knowledge to solve a problem, okay? And so this would be a great opportunity to present a problem to your students. I want you to create music in your own way. So we've heard plenty of sounds during these several months that we've been quarantined. I want you to take sounds, and they could be sounds that you've been hearing, but I want you to organize them into music. So take the knowledge that you know, apply it to create music, okay? And so what you could do is in this simple 4-step process, we're gonna use a design process for them to do this, okay? And you can time it out. So we've already defined the problem, but after you define the problem, now we need to give them time to plan. So in that planning stage, and you could model this for them, I want you to decide what you want to use, okay, to create music. So decide if it's going to be several tools or maybe one thing. What are you going to use? And maybe what things have you heard over these months we've been quarantined that would make music? Okay, so after they plan, then maybe give them some time. It could be maybe 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and I would recommend throwing up a digital timer if you're teaching remote, or throwing up a digital timer if you're not teaching remote. Maybe you're physically with your students, but give them time to build, okay? So they're looking for items around the house, or maybe something that's right around them. If you're in the classroom, maybe you've supplied certain items that they can use, or maybe you're gonna let them use items around the classroom that are not musical instruments, okay? To make it add a little extra level of rigor, okay? Okay, and have them build. And the 4th step, so we've defined the problem, we've planned, and we've had time to build. So now we're gonna share and then give them time to improve their instrument if they want to. Improve what they've used to make music, okay? They can get feedback from students. They're first defining the problem, then they're gonna plan, and they'll build, and then they're gonna improve on what they've created after they've shared it. All right, so let's take the lesson just a step further. So let's say students have devices, and let's say we may be teaching remote or we may be in person, but students do have access to a device, okay? And it's time for us to share out. So we've already defined the problem, we've planned, but I want students to share out digitally, okay? And this actually would be a really good option if we're doing this in an asynchronous environment. So maybe not all together, but students have the ability to share out in their own time. Okay, so I'm on flipgrid.com. I'm on their site. So really cool. So what you could do, students would come here, you would have a code, and you would drop your code. Students would drop the code that you give them right here, and it would give them instant access to record their response in your topic. And your topic, you could title your topic, and they would see your instructions here. You could title your topic based on the lesson. So it could be share your music, share out how you made music, and they could record their response in this place. What's really cool about that is in this one shared digital space, all the students' responses will be here. So students could go to this shared space and watch and listen to all the ways the other students in their class created music. Another easy lesson idea or discussion idea that you can engage in with your students is around their interaction with music. So we've all been quarantined and socially distanced for a duration of time, but we've all interacted with music in some way during this time. And since we are a music class, a music technology class, let's think about this. So music engineers, music composers, artists, they engage with music intentionally and for various reasons. Some because it may solve an issue for them. Maybe it fills some type of void. Maybe it makes them feel great. Or maybe they just have an itch and they just love to sing and this is their only outlet. Okay? So let's think about this. So over this socially distanced period, how have you engaged with music and interacted with music? And why? Okay, this would be an interesting discussion. And it would be interesting to see the different answers the students give. So maybe some perform. Maybe some sing at their church. Okay, and when I say perform, we've all been socially distanced. So it could be digitally. And how did you do that? It could be that I started writing. All right, you started writing music, or I started learning a new instrument. What is it? How have you interacted with music over these socially distanced months, and why? Why did you choose to do it? So this could be an open verbal discussion, or if you would like, it could be a video discussion, okay? By using Flipgrid, okay, a video discussion tool that's web-based, or it could be something that's written and submitted, or it could be something that you guys just discuss verbally, okay? And what would be really cool, and this would be an added level to this, if some students say the way they've interacted, it's been certain songs that have really helped them get through these times when they've been socially distanced from their friends. Maybe they've listened to certain music and it's really helped them. There's certain artists they've been introduced to and they've really grown attached to. So you can have them share those artist names, or maybe even share the music. That's totally up to you if you want them to share their content and their music. But but that would be interesting and really cool and a great way to connect. And some students engage in conversations differently, and this would give them different ways to engage in this conversation.